Well, hello there and welcome back to another video on the GameHive94 YouTube channel. If you missed the last episode of our F1 Manager 24 Create a Team Career Mode, I will put that in the top right of the screen right now. Safe to say, wasn't quite our race, but we're going to put that race behind us, move on to the next race, which is Australia, which is Jack Doohan's home race. But before we can do that, we have to fix up the cars because, well, spoiler alert, in the last race, both of our drivers crashed out. Luckily, we have enough chassis and enough rear wings. And we just have enough suspension parts, at least for doing Bearman. Okay, we have a front wing for Bearman. But that wasn't the only thing that got damaged, because if we look over at Bearman really mangled his engine, his ERS, and just completely destroyed his gearbox. So Bearman's going to be a little more worn on his engine components. So we'll probably have to take an engine penalty within the next few races. So yeah, with all that done, as you can see, we have the upgrades are going to come, or at least looks like 3 of them are going to be completed, but only 2 of them are going to be able to be manufactured by the time we get to the race. So let's fast forward time. Matt Harmon levels up. Okay, board attendance at the next Grand Prix. Since we're going to have some upgrades, I'm going to approve that. Hopefully we can do better than 21st and 22nd. As now the designs come through for the chassis and underfloor. So I'm going to manufacture 3 of those rushed, and then manufacture the same amount of chassis rushed. So now rear wing is complete. Don't have any manufacturing spots available. Alright, our factory is being upgraded. Okay, underfloor, I'm gonna put on car 1. Chassis, gonna put on car 2 so we can split it. Now if we see our high-speed cornering is a lot better, and car 2, cornering isn't really helped that much, but acceleration is pretty good. So yeah. Race targets. I'm gonna go 18th for Doohan, and 20th for Bearman. Alrighty, so I am going to fine-tune our driver setups, and I will see you during qualifying. Alrighty, you join me at the end of qualifying. Right now, as it stands, our drivers are in 14th and 15th, which is the best position we've ever been in qualifying so far. So I'm going to go ahead and send my drivers out on a set of fresh softs and see if they can improve their time. Alrighty, it looks like everyone is coming out of the pit lane now. We'll go ahead and send both of our drivers out. And Bearman too. And we'll see what he can do. Or what they can do. Bearman is getting a nice slipstream during his lap. Hopefully it doesn't hold him up too much.
No overtake.
Copy. No more overtake. Copy.
Okay, both their laps, they didn't improve. See if Bearman can get a green sector here. He does get a green sector and stays ahead of Gasly. Ocon doesn't get out of the drop zone. What about Bottas here? Can he do anything? Green sectors all around. Doesn't get out. What about Magnussen? Come on, please don't improve. Please don't improve. He doesn't improve. First time making it to Q2, and it's with both of our cars. Get in there. Let's go. Alright, so Bearman and Doohan both starting their flying laps. First flying laps of Q2. And doesn't look like Doohan or Bearman have any traffic except for maybe... yeah, except for Yuki Tsunoda. Or no, that would be Sergio Perez on an outlap. But hopefully we'll just get around him pretty quickly. Purple first sector from Doohan, green from Bearman. Here's a quick tip around Australia. For some reason, the tires don't get up to working temperature fast enough. See if Doohan gets past. Looked like he got past pretty easily. And what about Bearman? Bearman gets past easily. The tires don't get up to working temperature or optimal temperature by the time of the outlap, so if you take manual control and tell them to push on the tires, it will get up to the temperature by the start of the lap. Anyway, that being said, it's going to be all purple from Doohan, an 18.4, and Bearman does an 18.0. Alrighty, end of Q2 right now. So I'm gonna go ahead, send Bearman and Doohan out, tell them to go aggressive on the tires, and I'll see if they improve. Alrighty, green for both of our drivers. Let's see if Bearman improves. He does, not enough for Q2. What about Doohan? Again, improves, gets ahead of his teammate, but not enough for Q2. Let's see if Hulkenberg or Sargent can beat us. Looks like Sargent's the best bet right now, because he has 2 green sectors. And he gets ahead of Bearman, but not Doohan. 13th and 15th. Pretty good, considering where we qualified in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. So I'll see you while we're selecting the strategies. Alrighty, so this is going to be a pretty interesting race. What? Oh, I forgot. I changed, both of our drivers have grid penalties because they crashed last race, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so we're starting from last place. Brilliant. It's going to be starting on intermediates and then going to full wets, so timing pit stops could make or break our race. I'm going to go ahead and underfuel by like 3 laps here, because we'll save a lot of fuel in the rain, and we'll probably get lapped. Go in and tell them to push. And I'll see you when it's time for lights out.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. A lot of people will be keen to see just how Zhou Guanyu will fare today.
P20 is definitely not where any driver would want to find themselves. But they've got to get their head down and work hard.
And it looks like we're good to go. Get ready for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
It's lights out and away we go, and immediately going to tell our drivers to push. And see if they gain any positions on the opening lap.
Copy.
Behrman goes round the outside of Albon and Bottas. Doohan kind of gets boxed in there. Bottas sends one down the outside. I'm actually going to tell them to go for the curbs for the opening lap. Behrman battling with Bottas, gets ahead of Bottas. Now right on the back of Zhou Guanyu. Yeah, it looks like this rain's gonna be here the entire race. And tires are okay to push. Can we get past Zhou? Not quite there.
How was the track?
Pretty wet, I think. Doohan hasn't made up any places. Behrman has made up 2. Right on the back of Zhou now. See if he can send one around the outside. Nope, not quite. Albon and Bottas fighting. So that might open the door for us. Can we slip one down the inside? Nope, not there. It's now completing lap 1 onto lap 2. Doohan pulling out. Nothing comes of it. Alright, I'm gonna tell them to chill out on their ERS. Doohan might send it. Nope. Bottas just closes the door. Alrighty, I'm gonna fast forward time until something exciting happens. Alrighty, the rain is increasing, as you can see on the screen and on the track graph up there on the top right. It's almost time for full wets. I think it might be time for full wets by the end of this lap. So, I'm gonna gamble here. And put both of our drivers onto full wets.
Box now, it'll be a double stop.
Yeah, Hamilton's in the pits.
Copy box.
See Hamilton here.
Lift and coast is good.
He goes on to wets. Okay, I think this is the right strategy. A few other drivers. So the leaders stay out. They're going to lose a lot of time. Tell Behrman to harvest, and Doohan to harvest.
Charge on.
Copy.
Motor charge.
Copy.
Doohan might get held up a little bit here in the pits, but hopefully not. I don't think it will matter that much anyway.
Copy.
Behrman into the pits. Pretty good stop, 2.9. Doohan right in.
Okay,
2.6, really good stop. That puts us second at the moment in the pit stop championship.
Clear on traffic.
Go ahead and push with the tires.
Okay to push.
Alright, track is now wet. So we basically timed that to perfection. And Jack Doohan's pit stop, now that everyone's done their pit stops, puts us 8th. Alrighty, track has just changed to damp. Which means time to put intermediate tires on. wasn't paying that much attention to the weather, probably should have been. You may have noticed that I changed the livery a little bit. Well, I actually didn't change the colors at all, I just changed the logos. You see I put the team logo there, and just changed the livery overall a little bit to where it actually shows our like actual sponsors. 2.7 from Behrman, pretty good. And no, come on, get him out. What's happening?
Oh, it looks like
Oh
a
my
pit
gosh, a
stop issue.
13-second pit stop for doing.
Joe ahead.
I think that's the first mistake our pit crew has made, and it's a pretty big one.
Yeah, Bottas behind. He's 1.5 behind.
Alright, I think it's gonna be intermediates all the
28
way
laps to go.
to the finish. So, just gonna have to have good pace to, if we want to salvage this race. Bottas right behind us. For some reason,
Copy.
the AI are still on wet tires when it's an intermediate track. And most of them aren't even lapping that much slower than us. But we're gaining on Joe, so that's good, I guess. And that's why they were staying out. Now the track is wet. That's not what the forecast shows. We need to upgrade our facilities. Right, now the track is drying up, so it's going to suit us. Perfect.
Lots of crashes.
Oh, crash.
There's some debris.
No safety car yet.
There's been a crash.
Let's see this crash. Looks like Yuki Tsunoda and Valtteri Bottas there. Yeah, Bottas has a puncture. And his rear wing's damaged. Yeah, that was Bottas. Wow, Sauber actually did a pit stop quickly. Now the track is wet again. This race is crazy. It does look like it's going to dry out pretty quickly though, so we're just gonna stay out, have to brave it on these tires. Yep, now it's damp again, so time for intermediates. Which we have. And as you can see, even though I'm pushing on fuel, we've saved a lot, so I could have underfueled even more, because now we're 2 laps down. So we don't even need all the fuel we have, so just gonna be pushing all the way till the end. Some of the field is still on full wet tires. Why haven't they made the switch over? Jeez, that's insane. I think it's just a bug with this game.
How's the tire?
I mean, it's a new game, so there are bound to be some issues with it right at first, but like half the field being on wet tires when it's clearly damp, that's a pretty big issue.
Max Verstappen
Oh,
over
that's
the finish
Carlos
line
Sainz with a
and
puncture.
today's winner.
Checo overtakes him. Piastri's probably going to overtake him, and even Leclerc might overtake him.
Checkered flag.
No, Leclerc also has a puncture. So Sainz is spared. Phew, he's lucky.
That's the checkered flag.
Hamilton might even overtake Leclerc if Hamilton doesn't have a puncture. I don't know why they all stayed out on full wets when it was damp. Max Verstappen wins the race. Surprise, surprise. Leclerc finishes in 6th place with a puncture. And we come home in 20th and 21st, which is ultimately better than where we started for Oliver Behrman. And we get pushed out of the pit stops just barely, so we don't even score points with that. I think if we didn't have that grid penalty, or those grid penalties, we could have made something out of this race, but the pace is there.
That's Oscar Piastri after what was a very exciting Grand Prix.
Yeah, just shy of a podium, but fourth is still a respectable finish.
And a podium finish for the Red Bull driver will definitely help them build momentum going forward.
That's their second win of the season. A brilliant talent who looks so at home on the track.
Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park, but it was a thrilling weekend here for us all at the Australian Grand Prix. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And that's about that for this weekend here in Melbourne.
Next round will see us head east as F1 prepares for the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll see you at Suzuka, a firm favourite for the drivers.
Well, Max Verstappen is your race winner, with Lando Norris 22 seconds behind him in second place, and Sergio Perez 10 seconds behind Lando in third place. Lance Stroll rounds out the top 10, with both RBs barely missing out on points, and Bottas finishing way down the order with the broken rear wing and a 5-second time penalty. We finished 21st and 20th, with Behrman gaining 2 positions, which I don't think will have any real effect, except for Kevin Magnussen and Zhou Guanyu moving above us in the Drivers' Championship, which would probably mean... No, we actually stay 10th. Alright. Yeah, Williams did really good on the pit stops this race. 6th and 8th for them, so they move above Mercedes, ourselves, and Sauber move ahead of RB. Sauber had a fast pit stop with Zhou Guanyu. Huh, interesting. Alright, we failed the contract with, or failed the race targets with Jack Doohan, but we succeeded with Behrman, failed with Doohan, so we get 260k. Not gonna complain about that. Well, that is where I'm going to end this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next episode. Bye-bye.